the Victorian Newscast Show. It's a pleasure for us that you are viewing our channel today. We will be analyzing some quotes in the play, The Importance of Being Earnest, and we'll have the opportunity to see some interviews with different characters, some from the novel and some from nowadays. Tonight we are going to start off our show with Cecily, a girl from the play The Importance of Being Earnest. She is going to tell us about how the name of Ernest is significant and relative in her life. Hello, Cecily. It's great that you could make it to our show tonight. We are all pleased to have you as a guest. So, let's begin with our first question. Cecily, tell us more about the name Ernest and what does it have to do with you and your life?
Well, I'm going to start by saying that Ernest is the most beautiful name I've ever listened to in my entire life. I think I have always dreamt of being with an Ernest, and now I've found him. He is my soon-to-be husband, and I love him so much.
Well. Nice to know. Do you think your husband's name influences the way you look at him? Will you still marry him if he had another name?
Nice question you're asking. Well, I think that by my husband being named the way he is, totally affects the way I see him. For example, I wouldn't be with him if his name was different than Ernest, like Jack. That's a boring name.
Thank you, Cecily, for your time. Now, our program has the honor to introduce to our public another great figure from the play. This is Gwendolyn, an important and high-class woman. She is going to tell us about her perspective with the name of Ernest. Hello, Miss Gwendolyn. I hope you're okay with everything. If you don't mind, I will be asking some questions about the name Ernest, how you see the name, and how it affects you in your life.
Hello, yes, thank you for asking. The name Ernest for me is a blessing. When I listen to it, something beautiful goes through my mind. I hear music in my head. I start feeling so special. Since I was a little girl, I've always wanted and I've always dreamed of being with someone with the name of Ernest. That name kills me. I love it.
How is it involved in your life?
So, thankfully, I found the right guy for me. Ernest is going to be my husband in the future. Thank God that his name is the most beautiful thing. I wouldn't know what would happen if things, or his name to be precise, were different.
Well, nice to know. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Both of the interviews to Cecily and Gwendolyn show how they base their love for their fiancés just because of their names. For both of these characters in the play, the name of Ernest has a great significance. Both of them show the matter of a name and how it impacts their life. It is very strong how just a person's name can define the future. After looking at both of the interviews from the characters of the play The Importance of Being Earnest, we would like to show a third perspective. This one is from Lady Bracknell, a woman who gives more importance to social class rather than love. Hello, Lady Bracknell. It is very nice to have you in this show. We would love to hear your opinion. So, do you think providing education to every citizen is necessary?
I think, fortunately, education produces no effect in people. And honestly, I think it is not necessary for everyone to be educated since it will affect people like me.
What do you mean by saying that it will affect people like you?
Well, in other ways, that it will provide a serious danger to upper classes since the lower classes will start fighting for themselves and it will lead to violence in Grosvenor Square.
So, are you saying that providing education to lower classes will be bad?
Well, yes, it will surely affect us.
Okay, that's an interesting point of view. Thank you, Lady Bracknell, for sharing your opinion. We're here tonight at the Victorian Newscast. Lady Bracknell is back with us, but now she's going to tell us about her view of marriage. Let us begin. Lady Bracknell, what would you consider important in men before they marry a woman?
I think that something important in a guy would be their income.
Why do you think that income is an important thing?
Well, because it gives the woman confidence of how the guy has lived and to know in the future if they're getting married, I mean how both are going to live together.
What else would you consider something important?
Having several addresses is important because, for example, if a guy has three addresses, then it will inspire confidence. And I would recommend asking for their authenticity just to be sure.
But wouldn't you think it would be very drastic to ask for proof about what they've told you? I mean, would it be enough to trust their word?
I may say that since I wouldn't know the person, it is essential to know for sure they are not lying because it could be easy to do so. I wouldn't want my daughter to marry someone and then find out that he is not from the same social class.
Well, yes, that's true, but maybe the man you're asking this backup from could take it personally and leave you. In a relationship, one of the most important things is trust.
Yes, but I wouldn't trust a man at first sight. He would need to earn my trust somehow.
Okay, well, that's true, I guess. Thank you for your time. This interview to Lady Bracknell show what she thinks about education and the risk it would bring to the town. She also shows how social classes differ and how important it is to have distance between them. It can be seen how she is more concerned about the people from the upper class rather than the people from the lower class. She does not want to be mixed with them. It also shows how she only cares about the money people have. She prefers money rather than love. Now we're going to interview Miss Victoria Smith, a high class woman from nowadays. She is going to tell us about social status and how important she thinks they are.
Hello, Victoria. Have a seat, please. Okay, so let's begin with our interview. Victoria, tell me, what do you think about the social classes nowadays?
So, I think society has been divided into different social classes and they basically define ourselves and our children.
Well, but what do you mean about different social classes?
Well, I mean that our society is divided into low, middle, and high classes, and people normally socialize and interact with their same social status. This is because they have the same type of customs, culture, and education.
Okay, so based on what you've told me, would you let any of your children date a person in a lower social class?
Hmm, let me think about it. Well, actually, I think I wouldn't let my children date a lower class person because relating with people that have different customs and are than our would be both strange and uncomfortable.
Okay, so, but why strange?
Because I think that the way they speak, dress, eat, etc., is very different from the education that my children have received, and it would scare me that their values would change. Also, I wouldn't like my money to be shared with a person that doesn't know how to manage finances.
Okay, but that's respectable if you say so. Let me ask you, would you let them marry a high class person?
Obviously, if they respect my children, why wouldn't? And well, who doesn't like money?
Well, thank you, Victoria, for your time. That's all.
Thank you.
So, Susana, what can we say about what Victoria just said about social classes nowadays?
I think that social class are still very important in society. They definitely mark us our lives and how we view each other.
Okay, yes, that's right. A study from BBC News shows that still today there is a classification of people in society. There is the elite, the middle class, the affluent workers, the traditional working class, the emergent service workers, and lastly, the precariat or the lowest class.
Wow, that's a lot of social classes. I also think that there are lots of similarities between the importance of social classes before and what it is nowadays. I also think that people, although they might not say it, they are all focused on your social class. They're all focused on your wealth and your name.
I totally agree with you. I think that people still marry for love, but also that they are interested in something greater than a feeling. Like, this is connected to the novel in class, where Lady Bracknell was very interested in Jack's last name and his possessions.
Yes, that is very true. It's not common that a man from a low class marries a lady from a very high class. This totally shows how people definitely don't want to be attached to a person from a lower class.
Yes, I also think that's true. It is very impacting that this is also shown today and that it has not changed at all.
This is the end of the newscast for today. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you for your time.